welcome back. I didn't think I was going to do this, but it looks like I'm going to start working a little bit on one of the bikes. What bike is it going to be? Well, it's going to be that 850 that the last video was of me cleaning up. I did a little bit of troubleshooting, just a little bit. I didn't want to get too far into it before I started the video. So let's check and see what's going on, shall we? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so here is the bike, and I noticed that behind the instrument cluster, instead of an ignition, someone has this toggle switch. Interesting, but you know what? Whatever, who am I to judge, right? So I did not have a battery for this bike, so I took the battery out of the XJ550 and I put it in there, and it fits for the most part. And I have a battery charger. I've got a battery box right here, and sorry for the confined space, but this was kind of impromptu. But I did notice a couple of things. So number one, I have the battery box on. I'm actually going to turn it on to start. So I flip this, and look at that. The headlight comes on, and the neutral light comes on. Great. You flip this from stop to run. You can hear the relay clicking, so that's a good sign. But when I hit this start button, nothing. The light dims, but it's bound up. So I thought, well, I'll try the Kickstarter, right? The Kickstarter's right here. It is completely froze, it seems like. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take out the spark plugs, and I'm going to pour a little bit of Marvel Mystery Oil down it. And let it sit overnight and see if it's just the rings that are stuck to the cylinder walls. So let's do that, shall we? In case you never used it before, here's the Marvel Mystery Oil. From what I understand, it is safe to just put and mix with oil. It will thin out the oil a little bit, so you have to be careful. You might get a little bit of leakage temporarily. I am not endorsed by Marvel Mystery Oil or sponsored by them in any way, but this is what was recommended to me by a friend, and I trust him, so I'm going to try it as well. So at any rate, let's get these spark plugs out and see what we can do. Okay, so first off, spark plug here and here. And remember, this is a triple, so there's three. So we're going to start with this one. It's only finger tight. And you know what? It's always a good idea to look at the spark plugs just to see what kind of condition they were in. This one, not really too bad. If you can see it, not really too bad a condition. So, okay, fair enough. So that's one. Yeah, if you hear dogs barking, they're mine. So here's the second one. I'm going to put this one up here so I don't get them confused. Let's grab ourselves spark plug socket. This one feels like it's only finger tight too. So I really didn't go through this bike all that much enough to know this stuff until right now. So ladies and gentlemen, you are discovering with me. So let's see. Oh, so close. Don't you hate it when you're only a couple of threads away? That one looks about the same. That wasn't on it, of course. That was just something else. So there's two. The third one, let me turn this off here. The third one should actually be on this side. Yep, sure is. Ooh, this one's actually in, surprisingly. Surprisingly, this one is actually pretty, I think it's tight, whereas the other two were just finger tight. So we're going to go ahead and remove this one as well. We'll take a look and see what it looks like, and then we will try to get some of this mystery oil down here, let it penetrate and do its thing. Alrighty. This one, once again, This one looks about the same. So they all three look about the same. I'm sure I'll be getting new spark plugs, but I mean, other than this kind of shows me, see how rusted it is? This shows me that it probably hasn't been running in a while, for one. For two, there might be some rust buildup inside that cylinder. Were the other two like that? Let's check them where we got them here, okay? This one wasn't. This one doesn't look rusty at all, and neither does this one. So, it could be one of two things. Either that spark plug was left out to rust and then put in the motorcycle, or guess what? Somehow it got wet in there. So, here's my Marvel mystery oil. I'm going to try to just dump a little bit in each cylinder. Something like that in that one. Something like that in that one. And as you can see, I'm making a little bit of a mess, but you know what? That's all right. Because it's all going to get cleaned out. Then, of course, some in this third hole. Ooh. Something kind of... Where's that there? Oh, yeah, it's in there. There we go. So I really didn't use that much. I only used maybe a couple of tablespoons, or I don't know, something like that, maybe half ounce, if that, I don't know. So we're gonna let it sit on there and do its thing. Now, the next time that you see this, it might be in a different place because I've got to move a couple new bikes in, but we're gonna see what happens here. Wow, that stuff smells really good. It reminds me of those wax lips that you used to be able to buy if you're old like me. Wax lips that you could buy as a kid. They were kind of like gum, but they sucked and they weren't really good. So it's gonna try to eat away at that, hopefully. I'm gonna try to hit the kickstart again just to see if, yeah, see, it's in neutral. So we're gonna let it sit and we're gonna see what happens. Guys, well, that's it for this video. I'm gonna do a part 1 right now. This is part 1, and I will do a part 2 tomorrow, where we will let it sit overnight and see if that Marvel Magic Oil did its magic, right? I'm also gonna leave the battery charger on it just to make sure that this battery is topped off. It hasn't been on a trickle charger for probably about 2 months, so it's probably a good idea just to make sure that's topped off so the battery doesn't go bad. So if you liked what you saw here, please feel free to click that like button, click that subscribe button. If you have any information that maybe I'm missing, maybe you're like, hey, you should check this or check that, hey, I love reading that in the comments, so please feel free to. And stay tuned because I will be doing the second part tomorrow. Hopefully the weather holds up. We are really getting cold weather here, but I wanted to at least try to see what's up with this bike, and in finding that the bike is locked up, let's see what we can do about that, okay? Until then, guys, stay safe.